Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the December episode of the EPL Wizards. You know that the World Cup is just about to wrap up and we're getting back into the EPL, but we have a phenomenal episode with our November winner, Wendell Ebbin, who gives us a great interview. Also, Nate and I discuss the Crown and Anchor, and you're not going to want to miss this. Let's get over to the show. Yeah, it has. I've really enjoyed the upsets. A lot of underdogs really making their mark. And we had the chance to have some lunch last week. It was nice to finally get some lunch. You know what we forgot was the water bet, which we should have done on Front Street. Now that I'm thinking about it, on Front Street we could have got Nathan Moore to record us.
You had a meeting you were going to.
I had a meeting I was going to, so we couldn't do that. No, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work unless we did it with a thimble or something. It's a great time. You see people coming out, supporting their country, supporting the team that they're rooting for, and it's just a great time. And football is that international language that I think brings out the best in us.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's always nice the World Cup brings about just so much happiness. I mean, it's enjoyable to watch maybe some countries that you don't get to see all the time, get to see their fans go out and support their country. It'll be interesting if I think there should be a secondary, smaller competition for countries that obviously are never going to make it to the World Cup, and almost like the Champions League and Europa League, where you have the World Cup, but then you also have a smaller competition that other teams can try and get into as well. That'd be cool to see. But it is still nice to see some of the countries that you don't see all the time come up and show out. I mean, Senegal getting through to the knockout stage to play England was that's huge. Fun.
That's huge. Yeah, Poland as well. Poland making it.
Yeah. I mean, South Korea getting through. Japan getting through to the knockout stage. At the expense of your Germanys and your Uruguays. It's nice to see. It's been really interesting.
Yeah, it has been. And let's get over to our interview. We had a chance to speak to our November winner, Wendell Ebbin. Let's get over to our chat with Wendell right now. Wendell, congratulations for winning November.
Congratulations, Wendell. Congratulations, mate.
Finally won one, 3 years in.
Better late than never.
Yeah, you're doing better than me.
That's the benchmark. I mean, I think that's everybody.
Yeah. So true.
I'm not setting the bar very high there, Fub, but sure.
Clearly doesn't need the money. That's what it really is.
I think he's just trying to be very fair. He's trying to make sure there's no hint of collusion or no hint of he's cheating. So he just puts himself at the bottom of the week every time.
I wanted to know, like, in terms of the competition, I know you've been with us for a while, but for this last month going, was there anything in particular that you felt was particularly challenging or difficult for November 2022?
Nah, and the funny thing is, like, every year that I do this, I sign up for a bunch of oldie fantasy sites that like give oldie tips and everything, and every year I kind of ignore them every month. But one tip or strategy that I looked at a lot this year was the team value. So definitely had a focus on trying to get a team value that was like over 103, which for a lot of the FPL experts that finished like top 1% in most of the leagues, they all consistently have teams that are highly valued, which gives a lot of flexibility for transfers, particularly week over week, and the higher value transfers of those players. And so, I don't know, somehow I managed to maintain like 103 to 100.4 for the past 2 months. And that really helped with the flexibility with transfers. And that was really the difference for me, I think, in that month. And then correctly captaining. Like for the longest while, I always captained and missed. Like, it'd be the week before I didn't captain the person, and that's when they scored a hat trick. But this season, maybe a little luck on captain choices.
Nice. Well, I actually just going to the team value. Is that partially picking up players after they've had a good game week, but before their price goes up?
Sometimes,
a little bit more science to that. Okay.
Yeah, no, that is basically the gist of it. And then really those low ball 4.0 players that everyone picks up at the beginning of the season just to fit in a more expensive player, but actually having one of those players be someone that price rises a lot. There were a couple of those players, Nico Williams, transfer from Liverpool, my club that I support, and he was a 3.9, 4.0, then 4.1, clean sheets, and that's like, to get a 4.0 player that actually produces decent level points is a game changer.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I see Mandela's out here asking for tips on the podcast. I see how it is.
Yeah, I need him. Have you seen what place I'm in?
Anyways, Mendo, you just answered the question. You support Liverpool, and that's my heart. But I'm sure that you have words to say to me as well. But why is it that you support Liverpool? Is it good? Go back family history? Is it something to do with your childhood? Why is it you support Liverpool?
It's actually a pretty hilarious story, only in the sense that, like, I obviously most Bermudian kids, we play football when we're younger or whatever, but I never took into it seriously. So I wasn't even really into my, I'd say, early 20s when I started working at Rennes, and it was really just to be a contrarian. Like, everybody supported United. It was either United, Liverpool, or Chelsea. And so I worked with a guy named Lloyd Hoda. I don't know if any guys, he used to play with the team. And Javon Mills. And so Lloyd is a big United supporter, and Javon was Chelsea. And it was like, well, guys in the office, these guys are watching football every week, and here I am. I ain't able to comment. I ain't able to do anything. And so then I ended up picking Liverpool. So that was really how I landed on Liverpool. It was more just I didn't want to be like everybody else. And it was the one team that no one at the time in that group where I was working supported. So
nice.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that makes sense. So are you, just out of curiosity, are you still there at Rennes, or have you?
Yep.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Been there 16 years now.
Okay, nice. I know a couple of people that are there. Janai Robinson is there. Dave Corsi is there as well.
Oh, you know his people there.
Yeah.
Cool. Janai's crazy.
Oh yeah, I know what he's like outside of work, but I'll leave it at that. So fun question, since we're talking about Janai, what sort of music or entertainment have you been into recently that you want to share with us?
And you said Nye because Nye used to be a DJ. Is that why you used to do it?
Yes, that was the segue. I tried to.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is, when I looked at the questions you had sent, I got my Spotify Wrapped. So according to Spotify, my most listened artist this year was Chris Brown, J. Cole, Tory Lanez, and then it's a whole bunch of random stuff. Sometimes I admit I do listen to a lot of R&B, but then a little bit of hip hop. And then reggae, of course, but R&B seemed to top my list this year.
Okay, nice.
It's nice that we have those apps to sort of keep track of these things for us now.
Sometimes it's embarrassing, I gotta say, because when last year it was like pop was my number one category, and I was like, I won't even tell you what the artist was.
You almost listen to things just so that at the end of the year, your snapshot looks respectable.
Yeah.
So just I'm gonna listen to this just so it's. I do that with YouTube videos. Sometimes I watch YouTube videos because I know that I want that type of YouTube video in my algorithm later. So I'll just watch. So I'm like, I know I've been light on this little. So let me watch some more of those videos just so it's in the algorithm.
Oh no, I clear the algorithm too much, so that doesn't work with me. I'm one of those clear your cookies every month, clear your search history, and I go to like history.google.com to make sure it's deleted.
Nice. I didn't even know about that. Actually, I'm gonna try doing that.
Oh yeah, if you ever want to dig into anyone's personal life, I swear, just 10 minutes with anyone's Google search bar history, and you can learn enough to get into pretty much anything. I think, generally speaking, for anybody. But yeah, most people do incognito mode and don't realize that essentially everything's really being stored on the server. And even so, if you just type history.google.com when you're logged into your PC, that takes you to like the website, and then they even have a tool that like you can delete by timeline if you want to, or delete by the product, and then there's a delete option for since the beginning of time. But even then, they keep stuff for another 90 days for retention purposes, so they don't really delete it, but it's the more effective way to delete it across all devices, so that if you have a significant other and maybe you're using incognito mode for whatever you're using it for, it's actually truly deleted.
Look, I'm
not
learning
that any of us have those issues.
This is hypothetical. This is asking for a friend.
Family show.
Yeah.
You can cut that part.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm gonna make notes for myself.
Hypothetically speaking.
All right, next one up. You want to take this one, Nate?
Yeah, sure. Wendell, what advice would you give yourself if you could go back in time, speak to your 21-year-old self? What advice would you give 21-year-old Wendell?
Become an entrepreneur sooner. I swear it. It's just funny. I was speaking to my brethren over the weekend, and it's like shocked because usually I'm busy, I'm working, I'm the do the 20 hour days, whatever. I'm always been that type of person, but I'm really starting to get to a point in my life now where I'm like, a 9 to 5 is not it. Like everybody grows up saying they want to be rich, but it's really that golden period, I think, between 18 and 25 that you really have that optimal time to really make being rich later in life a thing. Like, if every generation there's a different thing that comes along, like you see now, content creation, YouTubers, what's now called influencers, literally people, you see teenagers making millions of dollars a year by making stupid prank videos and stuff like that. And something like that existed when we were all younger during that period. But the ability to recognize it is what separates the 1% from the 99% of the rest of us that end up doing a 9 to 5 and never becoming rich. So I wish I would have been able to point out those things, because now that I look back, those opportunities certainly existed. Things that, Wendell, you'd be good doing a radio show, or you'd be good hosting this, you're good at debate and things like that, but never connecting it to, well, how can I make that $1 million idea? I know Mandela tried to get me early to invest, and Mandela's already a multimillionaire, I'm sure. So, I don't do too bad myself, but certainly I wish I would have been able to get clued in earlier, instead of my 30s, figuring out things in life that really set you up, because 9 to 5 is not it, and I'm sure most people can relate to that.
Yeah, I can relate to that, trust me.
Well, you're on the right path. You keep winning months of the fantasy league, you'll be there in no time.
Adds up quick. Okay, so shout outs. So anybody that you want to shout out at this very moment that is going to be watching this video and they're going to say, Wendell, how come you didn't mention my name?
Nope, absolutely no one. I'm kind of self-centered, so I really just shout out myself. I'm just glad I won, to be honest. And even last year, I wasn't even in the group the whole of last year, so clearly I didn't win anything last year. And it was funny, I didn't actually know about these monthly Crown and Anchor at all until this year. So just happy to be part of it and actually have won something. And let me see if I can stretch the season and maybe actually, make the podium, but we will see.
Time to have a look at Crown and Anchor. So Wendell, for those of the EPL Wizard managers who are eagerly awaiting the Crown and Anchor announcement, what do you want to do for this next Crown and Anchor?
Yeah, so to keep it mixed up, I think I said all the total goals for the away teams that play that week, and then the total yellow cards for all teams across that week together. And it will be closest, so we don't do this Price is Right and have a $1,200 pot 5 months later.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We'll get paid out at the end of the month. The away teams goals for that week plus the yellow cards across all
total
games.
yellow cards. That's the total we're looking for, and no Price is Right rules. Just simple closest to will win the pot.
Perfect.
I should shout out to you guys, the production value of this. I know I dissed you in the beginning with, the lighting value. The lighting has improved. I think you are now looking at the curve.
I am
glowing there. It's doing much better. But I knew that it takes a lot of work, so I was only joking in the beginning. I wasn't actually dissing, but keep it up. But I know you're retiring next season, supposedly. So we will see, who's going to follow this?
I don't know. I've had a few people have kind of mentioned that they want to step up, so we'll see at the end. It's just like you probably know, it's a lot of energy, a lot of time. Go, Wendell.
Go, take it easy. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks,
Have a good
Yeah,
week.
you too. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
See you later. Great interview with Wendell. Really cool
that was
guy.
enjoyable. Yeah, enjoyable chat.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of be able to speak to people, after they've won for a month and kind of get to know them a little bit more than just, a name on a WhatsApp chat. It's a lot nicer to kind of
definitely
to figure out. It's interesting to figure out why he's for Liverpool. I find this sort of stories very fascinating.
I find those stories really fascinating when it comes to Bermudians, especially because
Yes.
realistically, there's nobody that we should support based on where we're born or anything like that. So the stories that you get about why people support certain teams are always varied. They're always different, and
Yeah.
They tend,
Yeah.
tend to be interesting. But yeah.
So I know that there is always at least one person who will have questions about the Crown and Anchor. So can we just run through it one more time? I think there's maybe a little bit of room for some clarity.
Sure. So it's going to be game week 18.
Yes.
We are taking the away goals.
Yep.
Plus the total yellow cards for that week. So the goals, we're just taking the away team's goals, but yellow cards, we're taking all the yellow cards, away and home team. So you should get 1-to-1 number from those two, and that's the total. That's what we're putting forward.
Okay.
Closest to, no, can't go over, nothing like that. Just closest to away team goals and total yellow cards. Add those two numbers together, and that'll be your guess for Crown and Anchor for this month. I think the password, we can see now, the password is up. The link will be in the description to go submit your answer. And yeah, I think
that covers it.
Hopefully that covers it. Hopefully there's no questions. Hopefully there's no confusion.
Yeah.
And as a reminder, we go by yellow cards as the Premier League says. So we know we had some confusion about that last time.
I'm finding the chat really heating up, and I've actually forgotten all of my favorite World Cup apps and sources for information. I just go straight
to the group.
To the group. There's some really good bets in there, like people putting bets on World Cup. I don't know if I can say that for legal reasons, but just said it. And then just talking about the games, like getting some good good laughs and good data, good info about the World Cup. It's just been phenomenal. So thanks to everybody in the group, not just the monthly winners, not just us, not just the people who are in first, but everybody in the group is kind of contributing, and just want to keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I second everything you just said. So yeah, get your Crown and Anchor answers in.
Yep.
I'll try and get them into a spreadsheet again so it's nice and clean, and we'll go from there.
Cool. All right, Nate, thanks. Have a great trip when you travel.
Cool.
All right, everybody. All right,
Check
see
it
you
out.
later.